Hello friends, welcome to another amazing video of Wisdom Zone, and this is Shubro. And today, as you have guessed it from the thumbnail, today we have a very important topic. We are going to discuss about a very important aspect of figure of speech. So if you haven't subscribed to Wisdom Zone, please do subscribe to Wisdom Zone and hit the bell icon and watch this video till the end. Today we are going to discuss about similes, and we are going to see how we can use similes in our day-to-day conversation, which is going to help you immensely to create a good impression. So without further ado, let's get started. So as I have already discussed in the intro, that today we are going to discuss about simile, which is also a very important figure of speech. So before we move forward, before we dive into the 10 most important simile that we can use for everyday conversation, we must know what is a simile. As you see on your screen, it's given what is a simile before we move forward and discuss 10 most useful similes for everyday English conversation. And let me tell you, this is the first part, obviously, because I'm going to come up with more parts. We are also going to discuss about metaphor in a different video, but today we are going to focus on simile. So let's turn our attention to a simile. As you see, what is a simile? So let me tell you, a simile is a figure of speech which compares one thing with another using the words as or like. Okay, so it is used to compare with one thing with another using the words as or like. We often use similes in English conversation to sound more appealing, right? So if you know how to use simile, you may sound more appealing, more attractive. Okay, and it is going to give you a new dimension. As you see, some examples are given. A sister looked as gentle as lamb, right? So I am comparing here. Okay, so I'm using as, and see the next example. We can also say he drinks like a fish. So here I'm using like to compare. So in these two ways we can use similes. But today we are going to focus on similes using as. You see, similes, 10 important similes for. We are going to look into 10 most useful similes for everyday English conversation, and this is part 1. We are going to learn those 10 similes using as, right? How you can compare and use that in your day-to-day conversation using as. So before that, I would also like to clear a confusion. Sometimes we get confused with metaphor because people think that metaphor and similes are. So before we move forward, let me quickly clarify one doubt that most of the people have, and that is, what is the difference between simile and a metaphor, right? So as you see on your screen, it is mentioned what is a metaphor. So before we discuss the difference, let me have a quick description. Let me tell you the quick definition of metaphor. As you see on your screen, a metaphor is a figure of speech which is often used in literature that describes a person or object by referring to something that is considered to have similar characteristics to that person or object, right? That means in case of metaphor, we directly refer to something that is considered to have similar characteristic to that person or object. That means here also we make a comparison. The most important point to remember is that the difference is that we do not use as or like while making the comparison in metaphor, and we make a direct comparison. Okay, and we do not use as or like, which we use in case of simile, right? So as you see, the two examples are given. The mind is an ocean. Okay, so I'm making a direct comparison. Second one is the city is a jungle. Again, I'm making a direct comparison. Okay, I'm comparing city with a jungle, but I'm not using as or like. That's the basic difference. I hope you could understand. So up next, we are also going to see the 10 most useful similes for everyday conversation, and now also I'm going to make a separate video on metaphor. But let's quickly dive into the 10 most useful similes for everyday conversation at present. So today we are going to go ahead and start our discussion, and as you see on your screen, today we are going to discuss 10 most useful similes for everyday English conversation, and this is the first part of it, as I already told. And today we are going to focus on similes using as you see on your screen, as. Okay, and obviously after that I'll also come up with another part where I'm going to discuss similes using like. Okay, stay tuned for that. So before that, let's get started. Let's see the 10 most useful similes for everyday English conversation, part 1, using as, right? So as you see the first one on your screen, it's given as busy as a bee, right? So as you see, the first simile for today is as busy as a bee. As you see, as busy as a bee, it means very busy. Okay, so when someone is very busy, you can say that he's as busy as a bee, right? Or if you're busy, you can say that nowadays I'm as busy as a bee. Okay, that means very busy. That's the meaning of this beautiful simile. So as you see the example, these days I remain as busy as a bee. So like this way you can use this beautiful simile. So up next we will see the second one, that is as proud as a peacock. So that means extremely proud. As I'm typing the meaning on your screen, as you see, as proud as a peacock means extremely proud. That means proud like a peacock, right? So as you see the example is also given. Let me just read it out. Yes, Bob looked as proud as a peacock when he got the first prize. That means he looked extremely proud after winning the first prize, right? So up next we will see the third one for today, that is as blind as a bat. So I'm typing the meaning. It means completely blind. If someone is completely blind, unable to see properly, you can say that he's as blind as a bat. That's the way you can use this beautiful simile. As you see the example, the new watchman is as blind as a bat. Right? That means completely blind. So up next we will see the fourth simile for today. As you see on your screen, the fourth one is given, that is as bright as a button, right? So it is also a fascinating one. It means quick-witted, alert, astute, very sharp. Okay, that's the meaning of this simile, as bright as a button. I'm typing the meaning. That means quick-witted, or you can say alert or astute or sharp, right? So as I have already given the example on your screen, let me read it out. The small kid is as bright, yes, as a button, right? That means the small kid is quite alert and sharp, right? The small kid is as bright as a button. That's the way you can use this beautiful simile, right? So up next you see the fifth simile for today. As you see, it is given on your screen, as strong as an ox. That means extremely strong. Okay, so as I am typing the meaning, I hope you see on your screen, as strong as an ox means extremely strong, okay, and powerful. So as I am typing on your screen, the meaning extremely strong, and you can use this simile in your day-to-day conversation. As I have given a particular example, as you see, Sam goes to the gym every day. He is as strong as an ox. That means he's extremely strong and powerful, right? That's because he goes to gym. So like this way you can compare and use this beautiful simile. So up next we will see the number 6 simile. The sixth one is as fresh as a daisy. That means very fresh and energetic. Okay, as I'm typing the meaning, as you see on your screen, sixth one is as fresh as a daisy. That means very fresh and energetic. Okay, so you can talk about someone who looks quite energetic and fresh. So that time you can say that he looks as fresh as a daisy. As you see the example is given, he looked as fresh as a daisy after having a glass of juice. That means he looked quite energetic, right? So up next we are going to move on. We will see the simile for today. As you see, it's given on your screen. Number, obviously it is also a fascinating one. It is as happy as a clam, right? Yes, The seventh simile for today is as happy as a clam. That means extremely happy. We can use the term elated also, or ecstatic. Okay, that is very happy. Okay, or extremely happy. So, as you know, the meaning of clam is a marine species. Okay, and when you see that someone is happy or extremely happy, you say as happy as a clam. So as you see the example, Anna was as happy as a clam to receive the tab on her birthday. That means she was extremely happy. She was elated to receive that tab. So up next you see the eighth one for today. That is as deaf as a post. That means unable to hear or listen. That means completely deaf perhaps. Okay, having problem of hearing, hard of hearing. In that context we can use as deaf as a post. So as I have given the meaning on your screen, my neighbor, as you see the meaning is already given. As you see the example also, my neighbor is as deaf as a post. That means your neighbor is deaf and having problem of hearing. Understood? That's the way you can use this beautiful simile, as deaf as a post, to signify someone is having problem of hearing, right? So up next you see the ninth simile for today. As you see on your screen, number 9 is as dull as dishwater. It is also a very important one, and it means extremely boring or dull. Okay, as I am typing the meaning, it means extremely boring or dull. Okay, so as you see the beautiful example is given. Bill doesn't attend his history classes because he finds history classes as dull as dishwater. Okay, that's the way you can use this beautiful simile. So at last you see the 10th simile for today, which is also an amazing one. As you see on your screen, maybe it's for the first time you're seeing this. That is as old as the hills, right? That means very old. Okay, when something is very old, you can say that it's as old as the hills, right? So as you see, I'm typing the meaning, and also the example is given. Our house is as old as the hills. That means it's very old. Okay, like the hills. Understood? So I hope you found this video extremely interesting, and let me quickly go ahead and have a recap. Let me quickly scroll up. I'm scrolling up so that you can see the previous similes, and you can also take a screenshot of the meanings as well as the examples. Okay, and also do not forget to make sentences and comment so that you can practice. I'm definitely going to reply. And let me scroll down. I'm scrolling down now. So I hope you found this video helpful, and stay tuned for further informative videos, because I'm going to come up with the second part also, where we are going to see how to use like, okay, and compare how to use similes using like. So stay tuned for that also. So also do not forget to subscribe to Wisdom Zone and hit the bell icon, and stay tuned for further informative videos.